G'day folks, good to be back again. Welcome to my studio here on the Sunshine Coast, Queensland. Yeah, it's good to be back. We'll dive into some pretty cool stuff tonight. We're gonna look at song arrangement and do a bit of light mixing and just add a few things into our song that we did from earlier around Easter time. So yeah, hope everyone's doing quite well during these crazy times that we've been living in for quite some time now. It feels like quite some time, doesn't it? But yeah, it's all looking up and things are kind of getting back to normal-ish. Still all a bit weird, but feeling good about the future anyway. It's all good. All good stuff. We're all alive. We're alive and we're well. And yeah, can keep being creative and do the things we love to do. So I've got a couple of things on the agenda. I've got an idea that I've sort of been toying with. I've used this idea once or twice before in the past, and basically I'll choose a song at fairly random, and just 1 second, guys. What's that? Oh, okay, I thought you were saying my name. Sorry about that. I thought someone was calling my name out. Yeah, so I've been toying with this idea of taking a song fairly random. I won't play it out just in case we get snapped for copyright or whatever. YouTube's a bit funny with that. But I'm going to use it as a template to lay out the way a song should be arranged or will be arranged. So I'll chop it up and I'll color code it and just label it. So for instance, intro, and then drop, breakdown, second drop, outro, or whatever. Whatever the song will teach us about. I've done it once from memory, but I chose a song that was quite similar to what I was working with. But this time I think I'll choose something a little bit more random and just experiment and toy with the idea. It may or may not work out. Hopefully it works out. We'll see. We'll try and make it work. Hope you all got a drink, by the way. Just we've got an hour and maybe a half. Might go a little bit over time this time. But we'll see what we can jam into. But first off, let's have a little listen to what we made last time. It's... What have we got here? Let's get this a little bit snazzy. All right, let's give it a play. We'll start off with the kick or whatever, or maybe the hi-hats. Yeah, we'll give that a go. Hopefully I'm loud enough this time too. I know last time it was a bit of trouble with the microphone and couldn't get it loud enough for you guys. So give us a holler if it's not working for you, and I'll see what I can do. All right, here we go. Those are the hi-hats, of course. All right, we'll just bring in some stuff. Actually, I might get rid of that one. That one's a bit dodgy. Oh, that's a bit dodgy too. There we go. And the last bit. try and feel that tune a little bit. Get started. What do you need? It's pretty cool loop. I reckon we can expand on that a bit more as well, so it's not just like drop into that and then it'll stay that. We'll like add in some cool percussions and maybe even add in a separate bass line as well. But for now, I will bring up my a tune, some sort of song that I can use as a template. What have we got here? Light years. That sounds like can't remember. There's a bit of alright. Maybe we'll use like that's a spoonbill tune, Intergalactic. Oh, Beastie Boys. I'm try and steer away from maybe a vocal track at this stage. Let's have a look in here. Maybe I'll use like something a bit different, like a Mo Horizons tune or something like that. Just like something a bit random. Fine Away, Prince Charles. Or Bose Hanover. What have we got here? I'm just trying to... Maybe Green Day. Yeah, we'll pull that in. I'll make a separate channel for that. And I'm not really going to play it. I'm just going to use it as my template. Audio track. Right. I'm going to just like name this track template, song template. Song template. And I'll pull that song in there and just so we can see the waveforms. And we'll chop it up. Oh, did that even go in? Just loading in. Need some like background music for when it's loading. I reckon Ableton should do that. Okay, so if you can see on the on Ableton's here, you can see the waveform quite well. I'll pull that up. And you can kind of see that there's like an intro and then a drop. So we'll chop up the main bits and we'll just take it from there. So it goes to about 21 on the scale there. So I'll color code that. Say green. And there's another bit here which looks like the guts of the tune, and then there's like a sort of breakdown to a bit of an interval. I'll chop that bit out as well. Can we turn that down? Or turn it off so I can't hear myself? It's off. It's yours. It's this one. Oh, yeah. Cool. that one. We'll cut that one. That looks like an interesting little breakdown sort of thing there. Hey Trista, how you doing? Mike sounds great. Awesome. Good to hear. Cheers, Lucas, as well. Legend. Nice to see you guys are tuning in. At 81 here, it looks like there's sort of like a bit of a breakdown. I'm gonna chop that up double time. Like I'm gonna so you can sort of see a slight breakdown to like a bit of an interval or something like that. So I'm just gonna use that. Where is it? At about 81. Actually, it looks like around 77. There's like a bit of it starts to break down. So I'm gonna because like what I kind of like to do when I'm making a tune is like it's good to get a bit more interesting towards the end. I think to keep your listeners engaged, I guess, and I mean there's got to be obviously an amount of progression up to the first sort of breakdown, but after that first sort of breakdown, you kind of want to drop it again into something that's still very familiar, but at the same time just a little bit more interesting or inquisitive or whatever you want to call it. Really up to you. It's what it's all about, being creative. So I'm gonna do these two bars here. Cut that, and then I'm gonna cut. Because the song's probably a different BPM as well, I'm just going to cut it to my scale. So I'll just cut it at 89 here. Cut there, and I'll probably. This is a little interesting sort of bit here. It's I might cut it there. It might actually be really good to keep things interesting because it's sort of got like 1, 2, 3 bars, whereas that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 1, 2, so they're kind of equal, and that one's 3, so it's a little bit off. It might actually be interesting enough. It looks like there's another little sort of breakdown drop here too, which is pretty cool. I'll just I might cut that as well. Once again, I'll just keep it to my scale because it'll be different BPM. I got the sniffles a little bit. It's a bit colder tonight, eh, guys? And gals. And there's your finish of the song. I don't know how long this tune is, but actually I might just go check. If I can. More. No. I won't stuff around with this too much because we're a bit trapped for time. We'll just roll with it, eh? Right, and I'll cut it here. And boom. And that's sort of our outro. And it looks like there's something here too, which I've just taken note of. We'll cut that. All right, let's color code this stuff. So we'll go pinky color for that one. Breakdown, we'll make that one blue. The second drop, we'll make it that pinky color again, just so we can see that. And there's like a build-up / breakdown, I'd say. I'll make that blue again, or blue a bluey color. What did I make that? Oh yeah. Might make that one like a weird orangey color. I'll make that weird pinky thing. There we go. I'll make that red, pinky kind of color. So these are like the guts of the tune. So, but I'll change them every time so that they stay interesting. So it's not the same one every drop. Might even actually change that up to this one here. I might actually change. We might do a different bass line for that one and a slightly different beat or some percussions to add with it. And maybe we can do the same here as well. What is that the same color? Or doesn't matter. I'll do like a build-uppy kind of color for that. And outro will do that the same color as the intro. Ish. So name intro. First drop. Actually, I should do them in capitals just so I can read them better. Intro. First drop. First drop. I reckon we could call that one breakdown or breakdown to change. Oh. Breakdown. Doesn't really fit in there, but that's okay. And we'll call this one second drop. Second drop. Breakdown again. Second breakdown. Down. And we'll call this like a interlude or something. Interlude. Probably spelled that wrong. Interlude. Oh. Build. We'll call that a build up. Build up. Build up. Third drop. That would probably be, or yeah, that would be kind of like a third drop. A third drop. This would be like we'll call that a break. If I can, there we go. Fourth round. Call that breakdown. Final breakdown. And outro. Cool. So that's our song right there. It actually looks a bit longer than what I would like to do a song. So what I'm gonna do is I might just make it a bit smaller. So that looks about right. I might actually like pull some stuff out of this, but it's a baseline anyway, you know, it's something that you can sort of start from and then have afterthought and change it. Anyway, how about we get stuck into making some sort of intro? I'm thinking that we could use, I think, from memory, we recorded something from Michael's funny message that he sent to me. I can't really see it here, but we'll have a look anyway and just see if it's in here. Oh, that's the Moog. Couple little risey bits. We'll mess with them later if we have time. That's cool bass sound actually. Well, that could be like, you know, our second drop could have a bit of that in it. Oh, actually, I had another thing that I wanted to do too, which is you know that weird little beat that we had. What's that? that weird beat, that shit beat that I did on my iPhone. We sort of like took a piece out of it. I'll play it. I've got an idea with that. I've used this idea a few times. Sounds a bit shit, but I've got an idea that we can make that a bit more playable as well. So I'll do that now, and just quickly I'll show you a thing that I do this quite a bit actually. We'll just like copy and paste a few. Now, pull this up, and that's our waveform in there. Turn the loop off. And I will chop a few pieces out. That's my idea for showing you guys. I'll chop a few pieces out so I can play them on the APC, and we can play them as we go too, which is heaps of fun. That's not a good chop. About there. See, now I can play that. Actually, I might just delete these guys and copy that one, so it's already set up. That one's the same, but we'll move that along. What about this one? Like that. I'll do it to this one too. We'll go. Maybe this one here. It's got like a double up beat, double hit. Right. It's pretty much exactly the same. Maybe I'll cut the small one out and change the pitch of that. Put it at 7. I'll change the pitch of this one too. So that's like looping, the top one's looping, and these ones just play the sample, and that's it. So let's play that in. Might turn them down a little bit. They're a bit loud. Cool, and I might just pan that a little bit to one side. Have a listen. Alright. Might just change the pitch of that one. Sometimes it's a bit of a trial and error just to find the right tone. That's better. Might change that one as well down to +5 on the transpose. Another thing I've noticed as well when you're tuning stuff is that I usually go and like I won't do like an odd number usually unless like the sample already is a weird tuning. But usually if it's a sample that's been tuned properly, you can go down and you go transpose it like down 2, 5 or 7, or you can go 2, 5 or 7, 10 and 14, either way, plus or minus, and it usually fits in quite well. It's just something I've noticed over the years. If I go like say down 1, it doesn't really do what I want it to do. It just it doesn't sound right for some reason. But anyway, that sounds pretty cool. Another thing I was going to do with that is we'll record all this in at the time, but I'll mess with the filtering a little bit. So mess with the filtering so like we can like create some cool dynamics within the tune. Anyway, let's get back to making an intro. I don't really know what to do here yet, but if we go back to our session, have a look through what we could do. Maybe I could like have some sort of like reverbed out sort of sound. Maybe something from the Korg, even find a synthy patch or something like that, or I could just go for the Tempest. Actually, I might do that since it's set up and it's turned on. I might just see if I can do that. I'll find a melodic sound and start working it. We'll go back to the live view. Could probably work with that somehow. Just quickly like design something. I might create a separate channel for this. It's coming through the hi-hats at the moment, but I'll go 6 and I'll turn this one off. Might put an effects rack in there as well, and just I might just use the same one as the edits for now, just to do it quickly. And then I've got just give it a play, and I'll have a little play around for a few minutes and see if I can come up with something. Oh, that was a bit funny. Right. Oh. Don't know what's going on here. I don't know. Hold on. Mic's still on. What is it that's doing that? Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Turn that off. I left the other song on. That's what it was. I was wondering what that booming sound was. But here we go. Right. So now we're cooking with gas. Might just turn off some of these sounds just so I've got something. All right. Turn that off. Turn. All right. Just a bit of bass line. Might turn the bass off as well. Maybe I might do like a weird arpeggio thing. We'll just have a play around. Sounds a little bit weird, but give it a go. record some stuff in, eh? See how that goes. We'll see about that. And hopefully maybe, possibly I can use that for part of the intro. Chop it up a little bit. Let's see. Go for it. Help yourself. I'm all good, I've got one. All right. So, if I turn off all of these down here in Ableton's, melody. All right. So, what I'll do is chickity, what? That's right. All right, so that's the only one that I've got activated at the moment. So if I press the record button up the top, that'll record into my session. It'll record into its own melody right there. So let's have a look at our template. So it's going up to like just past 17, so 21. I won't loop that, but what I might do as well is get a little bit creative and just see here what that sounds like. How long is this? Let's have a look. Okay, so it's 8 bars, which means that I can play it for 2 rounds, but we won't play it for 2 rounds because we'll chop it up a bit. But we'll just record it in there basically, and I'll chop it up a little bit and add some effects. Oh, hang on a second. It's all recording for some reason. Let me just fix this up. All right. It's all recording in. That's all right. actually. I might start again because what I can do is play with it a little bit. Bring it in like that. Yeah, I'll do that. Whoa. All right. I might just delete that automation up there. I'm just going to deactivate these clips because they're annoying me. Deactivate. Oh, we lost all our things. Maybe I can just turn that down completely. Yeah. All right, so that went up to 17, but we'd only get like a little bit more of the after of that loop. Anyway, I will it's weird that it recorded everything. I don't know why. A bit out of practice here. And I did just upgrade to the latest one as well. Might leave the percussions in there, but you can see it's sort of like all pale color in here. If you just go up and press the play button there, it'll take you in. You'll be able to play it in session view. So what I might do is chop this up a bit. I'll just solo it, and I might even like loop the very first section just for the time being, and bring in like an effect and automate that in. I might actually just chop it up a little bit too, take out some notes, just so it's not so busy. Yeah, cool. So if we play that back from the start. Sometimes things can sound a bit shit at first, but you know, if we just like keep at it, persevere, you can get some fruitful stuff, man. Like sometimes I'll start with a tune and it'll just sound like ass, and then it'll end up being something that I really like. So, you know, you just push through that first little bit. So I think I've got that looped. Get that looped. See, I've just broken it down a little bit. And I'll just mess with some effects, and I might even record them in. Might even break it down a little bit more
just so I can do some delaying. Sometimes, well, actually, most cases, like less is better. I might even bring that over here and chop some, get a bit brutal and chop it all out. Chop that out as well. Have a bit of a break in there. Yeah, let's not get too attached to what you make. Like, be brutal. It's all about choices. Oh. Play around. It's kind of like drawing, really. Like, you're sort of just like cutting and pasting. It's kind of like, getting on Photoshop or something like that and doing some editing. And it's a little bit, monotonous, but there's a time and place for it. Sometimes I don't really feel like doing this stuff, but, I also really enjoy it some other times too. And when I'm not really feeling like doing things like this and mixing as well, and I just feel like being creative, I'll just come in and do some sound design, and that sort of keeps it all at bay. Yeah, so let's see what that sounds like. Just and I'll play with some effects. That's pretty cool. I might use that like towards the end of the bar, and then like when it hits number 17 on the screen. Where does our song go up to? 21. And I'll just like tail it out, and there can be like a bit of a build up from there to for our first drop. All right. Ooh, it's a bit full on, but that could be pretty cool. it's this one here. I might turn that down a little bit, just for now. See what that is. That's nothing. All right, you record the guts of the tune in. Just a second. Oh. All right. Just make sure that's where we want it. Yep. All right, let's record that in. We can just copy paste that. Just quickly, what I might do as well is put some effects racks in here and just record, do a similar thing, but automate some effects in there, like go through like the kick, the snare, the hats, and the percussions, and just like put a bit of crazy effects in there so I can cut little bits out to use in the edit. All right. What have we got? Put that in the snare as well. Effects. Yeah, I'm being yelled at for not talking enough. Yeah, cheers, Antoine. Yeah, I'm trying to figure shit out. Yeah. Yeah, there's a few people over here tonight. A couple of people sitting around the fire, having a yarn. Haven't been able to do that for a while, which is nice. Soon I'll be out there with them, having a beer and a laugh. I'm just gonna put the same effects on. I was just trying to find these effects that I saved earlier, but chewing through a bit of time. You know what I'm saying? We'll just leave that one. Maybe chuck it in there as well, and change it later. Cool. All right. So go back in here. I will go up to this bit here. I might just chop these bits out here, just the tail ends of this. All right. Let's record another bit in. Similar thing, but I'll jump through a few tracks and just do some effects. Automate some effects and all at the same time. All right, here we go. Alright. That did record in, but I think we went over, so we'll do that again. See what it sounds like just for a bit of a reference. Oh. I'll turn it down a little bit. Might be able to work with it actually. I'll put it aside. Could be cool, and just chop little snippets out of it. Bring back the brutal dismembering of the bits that I make. But you know, if you do it quick, you can sort of you know that it's you can sort of part with some stuff. Right, now what I'll do is I will copy and paste a little bit of that. Yeah, why not? Look at that, it's 8 o'clock already. Haven't even made half a tune. And I might just do that again there, and then just get rid of that one. Yeah. And I'll record another bit in, but let's have a little listen to that other bass line that was there. I can't remember where it was, but it's maybe there. Oh, it's pretty cool. I love that. Love the sound of the Moog, eh? It's pretty cool. Let's see what it sounds like with everything, eh? Okay. Gotta bring all these back in. Just give me a second. Oh, I'll turn that one off. Actually, I can just do that. I will just find the gold. Ooh, don't like that bit. I think the first bit's the best bit actually. got a subtleness to it, which I kind of like. There might be something we can do with it actually. What have I got in here? Got nothing in here. Be cool to put some effects in. Have another little look. See what I can find. Keep it going. Oh yeah, this might be okay in here, or not. Max Instruments, MIDI effects. That's sort of what it is. It's a rack effect, but I can't find it. Clips, defaults, grooves, presets, current project. Had a whole bunch last time. Last time we were having a session. Cool library. Maybe it's in there. Nah, definitely not going to search through that stuff. MIDI effect rack. Maybe it's in there. No, it's not. Just trying to find these effects that are sort of specific that I've made in the past. It'll take ages for me to rebuild them on the spot for you. Maybe in another live session, but for now, I'll just have to go with the effects that we've got. Chuck it in there. I might actually add something else, a UAD plugin. I might add the Moog filter. Actually, I might find it a bit easier in here somewhere. Here we go. Where is that? Here it is. Okay. Chuck it in there. Oh, that sounds a bit funky, doesn't it? Let's listen to it on its own and have a little play with it. Might turn that down a bit. Speakers are working. Whew. You can feel the subs on that as soon as I put that that filter on there. Shit, it's pretty fat. Sounds good on my speakers. Hopefully you guys have got some decent speakers on, because like the audio going through this live stream should be pretty good to listen to on your home speakers, or maybe not so much on your laptop one. But all right. Hell of a lot more weight in that now. We'll have to tone that down. I might actually record that in minus the MPC that we've got there. I might just turn that one off. Turn that one off too. Turn that one on. All right. Might record that into the second drop just so I've got some content to chuck in there for now. And then I'll show you guys a little bit about pre-mixing, and then we'll call it a night. Big shout out to Radis Productions, legend Antoine doing the live stream for me here. Is bit of a guru on the live streaming. So cheers, bro. All right, I'll record this one. I've left an effect on. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Loads of effects on. All right, round 2, fight. Right. There was an effect that was on, but it can be turned off pretty easily, like so. All right. So we're getting ready to pretty much call it a night, but I will go through quick pre-mix. So what I'll do is the straight up Ableton's EQ on everything. A few people in the background there. You might have got a little snippet of them. Can't wait to go have a drink with them. Should be good. So I'll put the EQ 8. I usually put the EQ 8 on most things when I'm doing a pre-mix. Actually, I usually do this before I start arranging. Mostly because I like to hear it a bit better. And who's calling me? Oh, Chris, legend. Chris, how are you, bro? Oh, I think I've got a pocket call here, eh? See if you can hear him. Yeah. You're cool. I can hear you, bro. You're here. Oh, he hung up on me. That's funny. What a dude. He might call me back in a bit, I'd say. All right, so got an EQ on most things. I will solo kick and do a little bit of shaping. Might turn those effects off, they're annoying. I usually put that in front of the effects too. It's nice to have a sharper signal going into your effects rather than trying to clean up something that's already been affected. Because we've got the sub bass as well, and that will pretty much interfere with our kick, and that's quite a weighty kick too. If we turn that off, like there's a bit of beef in that. So I'm gonna just like cut quite a bit off just so I can just hear the kick. So I'm gonna go up to about 50 hertz just for now. So just cut out like basically everything under, and I put like a really sharp cut off on the frequencies there as well. I sometimes change that later on depending on what the bass is doing. But for now, I'm just gonna chop that just so I can hear the pop of it. See, let's. Can still hear it in there, which is good. That's what I want. Now I'll go to this one, put that before the effects. And I'm going to do a similar, I'm going to take a bit of the rumble off. I'm going to do a pretty sharp cut to like 36 or something like that. Yeah, about 36. And I will, my pre-mix doesn't always stick. It changes throughout the whole thing, but just so I can like cut off some frequencies and just to let everything breathe a little bit, because at the moment it is like rumbling a little bit here and there, and the shiny mids aren't really coming through the way I'd like it as well. So let's just listen to the bass on its own, and you can see on the spectrometer that like most of the frequencies are sort of around that, I don't know, 20. Yeah, let's say it goes all the way down, but you can you can't really hear anything underneath 20. I mean, unless you're a child or something like that. But let's just see what we can. I might cut it at like 36 there. There's a bit of a pop in that. I might be able to fix that up a bit. I might just like. See, that pop's kind of gone from there as well. That's in the. See, hear it again. You can hear that pop there. Just shave that back a bit. Nice and quick. We'll do it with the snare as well. So I'm going to cut all the bass off that. There's not a lot happening there, and most of the sound is like around like, you know, between, I don't know, 1K, maybe like 800 hertz through to like 1200 or something like that. So I'm going to cut all the bass off that completely. We don't need that clashing with anything. I'm going to cut a bit of the highs off too. Just shave it. Really simple. I'm basically just following like the waves a little bit. I'm just seeing what they look like on here. Anything that's not bass related, I cut the bass off as my premix. So let's go for the hi-hats. You notice in the hi-hats how there's like quite a lot of low-end rumble there. I find that always happens. Hi-hats are always like that. So once again, cut all the bass completely off. Get it out. See with that, there it is with it, and here's with it, here's without it. Without, just softens it slightly. It'll sound better in the mix. The melody, it's not bass. Cut it. It's out of here. Sometimes it's nice to have a bit of the body as well, so I'll go up to 100 hertz-ish. Maybe 100. Yeah, I reckon that's pretty good right there. And just cut that down. Okay. This is simple as, man. Simple stuff. What's this? Yep, that's going to be the same. Oh, there's a bit of percussion in that one. I might have to cut that out and put it in its own channel. Ooh, that's got a lot of weight to it. Actually, I might put that back. Put it before everything. Oof. All right. This one's got... Oh, that's so chunky. I'm going to have to really tone that down. With this one, I might actually not cut the highs so much. I might turn that down a little bit. It's chunky, man. Okay, that should do. just like, yeah, I'll leave that at that. Keep it as simple as possible. All right, percussion. I might get rid of that. I don't really have any use for that channel. Okay, this one here. Now these are all different. I'm probably going to change that. I've recorded them all separately. So I got that. I'll put that in its own channel. And the snare. But we'll give that a premix anyway. All right. Okay. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And this one here, I might actually do a little bit of. I might turn these off, just so there's nothing, no effects interfering with the EQ, because this is like a pretty shitty recording. So it'd be nice to clean it up a little bit. It sounds like shit, but it could sound really cool. Giving it a bit of shaping. I don't want any bass. I might actually like do something weird with it. Sometimes it's cool to do something weird with it. Let's see what that sounds like. I might go back to that original bass line, because that other one has got a bit of beef. I think I'm going to have to make a totally different beat for that. Might be a bit of a weird timing thing going on there as well. That could be cool, actually. So I'll turn that back on and turn this back on and just see what that sounds like. Oh. There's a lot more effects going on there. It sort of definitely changed a lot, eh? Introduced the Moog. Definitely adds a bit of tone there, eh? And then just add the. All right, we'll see how that goes. Might actually do something now quickly while we're here, while I've got an idea. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to route the audio from Park Beat into Audio 11, which I will change the name to Park Rec. And I'm going to route the audio into there and just play around with some effects, and that could be how we fix up this beat to make it sound a bit tastier, and less shit. Okay, so here audio, we can go Park Beat. There it is there. Now that should be coming through there now. So, yep, certainly is. Right, I'm going to record that quickly. So, and we'll just have a play. See what it sounds like. All right. Odd, but there could be some cool shit in there. A lot of the times when I find a cool breakbeat, it's by doing stuff like this, and then I can do the same thing as what I did with this beat, with the recorded one. Chop it up, play it live, easy as. So let's hear it, if it'll play. Okay, just quickly I'll do that. Going a bit over time, but hey, whatever. I'll turn the loop off and just randomly put that there, so boom. Just for a bit of fun, put that there. What does that sound like? Apple V. A simple copy and paste will do the trick. It will suffice. So random getting a call from my best buddy Chris. Far out. Sounds like he's having a loose one. That's cool. And then I'll just do one more just for shits and giggles. And I'll put it in maybe over here. And I'll have a little play around. Yeah. I can hear the, I don't know if you guys can see, but behind me I've got a disco ball. And it's quite funny, like I can just hear that in the background. Oh, that's cool. All right, let's see what this all sounds like. Oh, if it'll go. Are you gonna go? Here we go. That's pretty cool, I reckon. Like, I'll turn it down a bit because it's a bit overpowering. Cool, like fast percussion-y stuff. Pretty cool. I could probably like play that for another hour if you guys are keen. Nah. Yeah, next session I reckon. If you guys are up for it. I'm surprised how very little we got done this time. Like, but arranging's a bit like that. It's a bit monotonous, and if you're not feeling it, and maybe I wasn't feeling it as much tonight as I would have liked to, but you know, that's all in good time. While before the next one, I might get in here and spend a bit of time, maybe spend a day or something like that, and just get a few things in place, and then maybe the next session I'll go through a bit of mixing. It's the most daunting part of this process for me is is to make things sound nice and like cushed together and tight. And I know for a lot of producers that they have a similar sort of issues where it's like, some people are really good at it and know how to make things sound real tight together. But for me, it's like, if I can't get the mix right at the end, then I don't really show people what I've made unless the mix is right at the end or as good as I think I can get it. Yeah, it's a bit of a funny relationship, but I sometimes I love mixing, and I'll make a tune and I'll be like, wow, this is so much fun to mix, shaping it all and making it all sound nice together. Some tunes are really easy, and then some tunes are really hard. The more complicated the arrangement is, or the amount of information or channels that I've got to mix. Some if there's a lot of channels to mix, sometimes it can just be a dragged out process. And then mastering obviously is a totally different skill altogether, and one that I haven't mastered as the master. But I give it a go. I know the basics, but I'd probably prefer to get somebody to do that for me. But anyway, guys, thanks heaps for tuning in. I really appreciate the good times. Just gonna see if actually my computer's fully shut off. Yeah, really appreciate you dropping in to check out my studio and check out a bit of my flow. Yeah, cheers to Antoine for doing the live stream. Bit of a legend. He sort of like came up with the idea, and I was like, yeah, cool, I'll roll with it. Like, never done it before, so I thought, something a bit different and step outside your comfort zone and do it. So all in all, I hope you guys have a lovely weekend. I'm going to go enjoy myself a delicious beverage. Actually, I've still got one there. It's probably warm. And maybe go sit by the fire and warm up. My feet are freezing. So, yeah, if you guys are up for tuning in next time, just, keep an eye out on Radis Productions or Wacky Beats page, something like that. And we'll let you know soon. Like, I know Antoine's pretty busy renovating his house, and I'm fairly busy as well. Oh, that looks good. Can I have a sip of that?
Go for it, bro.
Yeah, nice one. Cheers. What is this? This sounds pretty interesting. Redhead. Oh, that's legendary.
Good sharpness, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, you can close whenever you feel it. No.
Oh, that was delicious. All right, guys. It's bye for now. If you live close by, I might see you around. If you don't live close by, you'll see me next time. Big love. Mwah.